And we are live, and I need to send the link to my homie. And get him in here. We haven't done one of these in like 4 months. I was rained out tonight, so we're going to work on some sketch cards. I am, anyway. I don't know what else he's going to work on, a whole cadre of paintings, I'm sure. Been working on some new characters and got some new names for characters. Been working at both angles. This one I got a little messy with the letter, so I'm going to do a little touch up on it. I had to do that on a character called Spec, which I think I have a good take on his card. I don't see his card here though. Kind of ran out of time to go up there and find it or look around, whatever. So we might, and it might be right here in front of me. I see the card right there that's buried. Yeah, this one, ink was going out, and this is a new character, the Mighty Ooze. So I'll have to go over the lettering of that. And I have a pecan that I got weeks ago in Truman when putting out mosquito traps, and so I'm going to be doing a bog pecan with the Mighty Sharpie. One time I do use a Sharpie, and if you're wondering what a bog pecan is, well, here's one in a little craft bag. I've got oh gosh, I don't know how many. I've lost the numbering on it, but I'll take a better look. This one's number 245. I know I've got like 270 something at least. I don't know, but I try and use the natural striation if it's a pretty one. This one's kind of dark. I'm sure a squirrel is probably, taking the outer hole off. I just saw it there while putting up a trap and picked it up and put it in my pocket. But there's a kind of a nice one. They're not, highly detailed or anything. They're not meant to be. I thought I might, if I do a convention or something, this would be something that, and I date them and I number them which number. Now, I don't know which number, so I will date those and then I will go back by the dates. And, here's another one that doesn't have the nice striation. It's fairly clean. Probably been, the squirrels. Sometimes they have, if a squirrel's gotten to it, has teeth marks on it, some scarring. But here's one I did in September of 2024, and I kind of drew in Bog's beard there on that one. So they're all a little bit different. I like the ones that are really colorful. There's some variety to them. Here, I think I've gotten some more craft bags, but there's a few out of here without, this one you can tell the squirrels, kind of took out the outer shell. Uh, on there. I try and use the same pattern. I don't know why that looks so different. Maybe occasionally, but variety's the spice of life. Here's another one. And I just did one, and I thought that's pretty neat. And somebody gave me a whole bunch, and I don't know. At some point, years ago, I think the oldest is maybe 2022. I just need one for a pattern. This looks like a good one for a pattern, of what I had been doing previously with them. I may have shown this one already, I don't know, but maybe not. It's got his little dash marks there, and then I believe I started putting one over here, up here, one on the other side to kind of balance it out. And an organic version of the Mighty Beans. Those look awesome. Yeah, I've done about. This one was done in 2021, so it goes back all the way to 2021 at least. I've got a whole big shopping bag full of these. Plastic bag full in crap bags. And I have a blank here that I got weeks ago, and I have not done. I've done about. This might be about the 5th one I've done this year, or 6th one. Most of them I find in my yard, but this one is kind of special. I found it in, and we will record it for posterity here, the 1st of June. And do a bog pecan here in a minute with the Mighty Sharpie. This one does have some striation, although I try and whatever I think will make the best side, and then I will date the other side. So there's one side, and you got that nice striation. This will probably be the front, and then turn it around, and it's got some striation there, but it's all on one side, which I'm fine with. It's kind of dark too. You want to be able to see the features, so I'll probably go, and this seems to have the nicer striation and has a lighter side to it, so I'll probably use this as the front, and this has got a lighter side here without any striation where I can put the date and eventually the number. I've lost the numbering, so I'm going to have to look at the dates and gather them all up and kind of get back on track with that. But I think I was up into the 270s or something, approaching 300 with these. Like I say, I've been doing them over time. Did about 250 of them, I think. I got some pecans from a friend, and Elsie's not coming in yet, so let me open up Facebook again, and maybe the thing's not working. The linkage. I knew better not to close that. And it could be my EV Mux link. Let me check back in with, see what his latest message is, if he has one. There we go. Okay, maybe he's just late coming in. I sent it 8 minutes ago. You coming? I may have to switch to nobody gets to come on unless they've streamed for at least a year. Come on, man. Get in here. You might be wanting to get all your stuff together in a little grace period, but 8 minutes, come on. And I was late sending it to him. He was there live. Mr. Complainer here. It's good to see Almond and others, that haven't chimed in yet. But, yeah, I had to go over the lettering here. Here's some cards that I've designated and I don't have characters for yet. I won't necessarily be drawing these characters tonight, but tell me what you think about the names. Whack Job. Now that one I kind of messed the B up, so I'm going to go in with some Doc Martens whiteout and kind of clean that up a little bit. I had to do that on spec too. Sometimes my brain gets it wrong and it's like, oh, I misspelled that. So Had to go in and clean it up, let it dry, and then go over it with ink. Curse, and I've already thought up yesterday when I woke up. It kind of came to me what Curse was going to kind of be like, and a story with that. I think there is a character called Curse. I don't know, but I'm going to create another one. Head case, deadbeat, low life, and the falling man. I've had the falling man. He's been. I've been working on his story of late, of this character that just when you see him, he's always falling. You know, what's that about? Well, it's a slow reveal with that character. Uh, he, I guess falling through time and space. I don't know. And a kind of let me get these other pecans out of the way. Hope a squirrel doesn't come by. I already had John Diller do this, which is kind of in that falling man thing with the bystander, though. Curse, spelled with a K, is a character in Thor. Beyond that, I wouldn't know. Yeah, yeah, I think you're right on that. I think, a villain. Now let me see if LZ sent me a message. Nothing. Some kind of little thing. Seen. Okay, he's seen it. Okay. And he's coming on EV Mux. I think he's already got an account. So what's up? Do I need to get my phone and call you? Uh, this is an alien that I created, very Hanna Barbera ish, really. But sometimes it's just a feature, you know, that kind of comes to me. In this case, I think it was the eyes, the offset eyes. Uh, so I did that the other day, on the 24th, which was just kind of like a quick, what would alien type thing. I did these, and I've shown these before. Uh, on April Fool's Day, that was the day I got my phone, my new iPhone. Uh, and one of the last times I really sat down and drew and created before I went back to work. Uh, and so I've got Blank, Ravenger. Some of these are the names that I put like this on blank cards, like whack jobs there. I just put the Shadow Demon, Saboteur, Replay, Raider, Takedown, Echo, Rift, Upgrade. Not necessarily the final looks, just doing some designing. Put it on an old, even got a barcode there, uh, backing board. This is the way I generally create characters, are just create the head and I can extrapolate the rest, the powers, the, you know, the look of the character. Uh, I did one pizza round. Let's see when I did that. March 23rd. Thank God he's in here. Thank God. Everybody praise Allah. I mean, Jesus. I mean, he's finally here.
Well, I'm
Hello.
sorry. I
That's
didn't
fine.
realize it was that late. I gathered getting all my stuff together.
I knew it. I knew exactly what you were doing. I was
We-
telling the crowd that, yeah, he's getting his stuff together. Guarantee it. Because on Facebook, I sent that uh,
10,
at 10,
12.
10, 12. Yeah. So
I'm 14 minutes late. I'm
14
sorry.
minutes late. Okay. Keep collecting, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, y'all have
I
fun.
don't know what. Pray someone right. Good to see you, Elsie. Omen says. I
See
always
y'all.
like the golfing cap. He
Okay.
doesn't wear that enough. Now there is an armored up
Well,
bog.
actually, Lee Goff just gave me this.
Oh, yeah, he's
I
known to
didn't
wear
know.
those. Yeah, he's known to wear those. Uh, for years, he's worn that type of
They're
thing.
good to cover up bad hair. I can tell you that. That's for sure. Or no hair.
Yeah, yeah,
At least
yeah.
cover.
Uh, so there's a pizza round I did back in March 23rd
Okay.
of this year.
My birthday.
On your birthday, exactly right. You are correct. And if you get your birthday wrong, you deserve to be wrong.
That's right. That's right.
If you can't remember your own birthday, you might want to check and make sure you're not, you know, having a seizure or something. I don't know.
Who, me?
No. Well,
Oh,
okay. Anyway,
I'm about to say,
um,
I remember my birthday.
yeah, I know you do.
Still might be having a
Uh,
seizure. I don't know.
so one of the characters that I've drawn, that's one of the few characters I've drawn that's not been one of my own, is the Heap,
No.
the original Swamp Thing, of the Golden Age from Airboy
Oh,
and other places.
okay.
Now the Heap had, I think, distinctive brown eyes. I'm not sure. I actually have a sketch card up for sale on the campaign of the Heap, a trading card, but done on parchment paper. I did my trading cards a little different. Uh, but I kind of had this thought of the the eyes. I'll show you what I mean here. And here's your lizard representation for today, Lorenzo. I did a little lizard head there as well,
Yes.
but that looks a lot like the Heap.
Along with Captain Carrot. Oh,
And he's public domain. Anybody can use him. Now here's a, a puddle of green, a character I call Ooze, and he's got a couple of fists coming out. Uh, so there's a concept for a character,
ooh.
Ooze, the mighty Ooze, and I'm going to go over the lettering and maybe do him tonight. Here's another character which I was talking about today in a in an epilogue story of uh, in Momentum Unleashed Future Visions, and he's going to be Scramble. And then there's a quick look at him, Scramble, just like
Little monkey.
if what?
Is that a little monkey up there above him?
No, He's in silhouette and he's
Oh,
crawling out of the rubble and the
okay.
dust and stuff.
Okay, I
Uh,
thought that's another character.
that is basically like a scribble character, to tell you the truth, in the human outline.
We'll call him Scribble.
Well, we're gonna call him, what did I say?
Oh, that I'm just talking about the one you can't use just a silhouette.
Scramble.
You said he's just a scribble character.
Well, no, he's not. I do
Well,
have
that's what you
something like
said
that. Oh, okay.
about that little one that's above him. The little one that's above him. That's what you said. You go back and
Oh,
listen.
oh yeah, that's silhouette of him crawling out of the rubble. That had to do with part of the story.
Right.
Uh,
Okay. Well, then you said
this is
that
the
he. It's just, yeah.
this
Okay.
is an epilogue of a story. In the story, Stone picks up a car and throws it out of sight. And on the epilogue, you see where that car went. Comes down on a research lab. He comes. I don't explain how he got his powers or what. He just comes crawling out of the rubble, silhouette with the debris and smoke and everything, and he's become this character. And I was thinking I could put Ooze in there too. You know, there was nobody supposed to be in the building except for, a lab-tician, and I thought Ooze could be the janitor in the building. You know, and
Yeah.
you just see, but you don't see, you just see him kind of dripping or oozing on some of the debris, but I don't explain that. He'll arrive later. Uh, I thought this would be a good concept for spec. I did this back in um, August of 2020. Kind of this alien and sort of this sordid character, which is just a stick figure on the horizon, and this giant hand grabbing for him. But I have a character like the Atom called Spec. Don't have him designed yet, although I do have a tiny little diminutive character that I've drawn. And I don't know that I had a
Respect.
name for him. He's a spec. Yeah, so I thought this would be good for the sketch card with the giant hand grabbing in sort of Ant-Man fashion at this little dot, this little speck. And that's all I'm going to do is a little dot for him. He's so small you just see a speck. So, so it's really the hand. But there you go, from 2020. It's the little concept. And I was doing this with a brush, one of those
That's cool.
brush pens.
I like that.
Yeah. Always liked the first appearance of Ant Man in costume, uh, where Kirby's got this big hand,
Mm.
coming down. Sounds like you have a solid start to the origin there. Yeah. Well, I have a good premise. Now, what happened to, in the lab to cause the janitor to become Ooze and this character called Ooze? And what happened to the lab uh, the lab guy to become Scramble? I ain't got that worked out yet, but I thought that would be a good way to introduce them. You know. Now another one that I've done there, I started with a headshot, but then I extrapolated, and there's a lot to him because he's got an Iron Man like armor. Is Torpedo, and there's Torpedo there. He's a villain. First draft
Mm.
there of Torpedo.
Cool.
I show you his backpack and the O2 air, the thruster jets where the jets would be. He's also got these removable sort of spikes or spears, harpoons, if you will, uh, spear harpoon. Uh, on the boot jets on the bottom there, uh, I gave him a couple spikes for kicking, uh, sort of spikes on the tips of his finger as well. There's a light on his wrist, because if you go beyond 100 feet within water, generally it's dark.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
mini mines, little mini mines, he can throw out these little mini mines to blow up into the water.
Wow.
Uh, he's got missiles that he can fire from his wrist, uh, and electric projectiles. You know, uh, some of these are like dark blue, gray designations to his costume. What color would his costume be? Uh, I put a spikes on his kneecap, so he could also, not with his end of his foot, but also on his knees. Uh, you know, really grind into somebody with his knee. Uh,
I help him climb too.
yeah, if he's out of water, absolutely. The boot jets on the bottom for climbing, and they can also emit smoke from the oil. You know, uh, whatever. You know, if he wants to put up like a octopi like smoke
Yeah,
screen, he can do that.
yeah.
So I think he's going to be a good villain. I just need to go beyond this and solidify him more. But I think I've packed everything in there, really thinking it through. Uh, this first here is like making a list of all the 43. A lot of characters there, so uh, and some notes about the characters. But I really like Torpedo. It's like what if you were to design a arsenal underwater. It'd be streamlined. That's why his helmet is sort of almond shaped. It's for be streamlined.
Pick up
For the
speed.
water. This is a little janky right there. Didn't put enough back cranial there for him, but reinforced neck there uh, for the pressures of water, and then streaming through the water, like a bullet or a torpedo. Uh, but that he's fun because it's like, okay, this is kind of an Iron Man like armor. What would he need? What would be advantageous in a different environment than Iron Man's in, you know, which is water.
Which is one of your favorite subjects?
It is. I always like the underwater adventure stuff. I think you mentioned that. I got another Smolder design here, although that one's very Ben 10ish, whatever. It's this is the way my notes consist of, like that, just different things. Jot the ideal down. There's actually a devil flyer coming through a portal there.
Uh,
Been riding on some devil flyer. This is one of my older characters, sort of how his costume would look. Blizzard. He's an older character of mine. New female character, Tempest. Fun stuff, here's one that's very incorporeal, like Vapor. My character had a friend called Vapor. Uh,
Vapor.
Vapor, right there in the corner. So you never know what you're gonna get.
This is true.
It's kind of refreshing my mind on some of this stuff. There's a female character called Nightshade. I actually had my sister. Uh, Here's one, the Widow Maker. I don't know if I'm gonna like that name or not.
Might be a good Western name.
I think, this popped in my head. Sometimes it just pops in my head. I had watched the uh, Superman Lois, I guess, and had, a very rough and gruff, almost like biker Lex Luthor. And I think that's what inspired this for sure. That's basically Lex Luthor glasses, you know, because this is the way he looked, in the series. Some of that stuff that sticks in my mind, you know. Here I am counting the 43 and even designating sex to them, if they're female, because I will have 13 females within that group. So when you have that many characters and you're trying to solidify it, uh, you have to make the list. And I assigned some names. I have not created all the characters yet, especially the female ones. Uh, this has a lot to do with the 43 in it in this one. And also, excuse me, a character I'm calling the Blank. Um, this was reference for Thorn for Ryan with the 43 with a few notes. He's He's the most deformed of the 43. And a very Christ-like, no eyes, but very Christ-like thing right there, Elsie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a devil flyer concept for a cover. Still trying to work out the main cover. And there's time. I went through this whole thing. I don't know if I have or not. Almost. Not quite. You remember the Klingon, the actor that played in the black actor that played Worf, the Klingon on Enterprise on the Next
I think so.
Generation.
I think I
Yeah.
remember that dude.
Um, in Thor, probably Journey into Mystery. It may be Thor by that time, the Mighty Thor. 159, Apex said that a 13-year-old Michael Dorn has a letter in that issue. So that's
Hmm.
pretty cool. He does a lot of voice work, for animated features.
That's cool.
I have two cards designated. Made a mistake, made a second one. There are, like for Surge of the 43, there's two cards designated for him. But there's two cards for Cannibal. Here's Cannibal. I have not done a card of him yet, so I'll do two cards of him. As soon as I drew him, I thought, uh, well, when I came up with the name Cannibal, I said, oh, that would be a good name for this character here. I created the character without the name. But all kinds of notes, creatures. Here's another little lizard I did right there back in February.
Hmm.
There's some lizard representation for you, Lorenza. Uh, here's another Devil Flyer cover ideal there. Couple figure, one Devil Flyer facing the other. Get it down so you don't forget it. One thing I want to do is do a blueprint sheet, Uh, Glob for another character was a name that I had in mind, Glob. Oh, and sometimes I've got the very first drawing. This is the first drawing of Shard and Zap, and I've already done their cards. I didn't even ink Zap there. That's just in pencil.
Yeah. Cool.
But that's where I created Zard and Shard and Zap was in one of these pads. First concept of a character I call Scrap. Just but I think I've already done a Scrap and it's totally different than that. This is more of a hero version. Here's one that I haven't done, but I have a designate to do. A character called Lobe. Another brain like. There's Lobe.
Oh.
let me get started on my bog pecan. I really like the design of those two there. Yeah, Shard's pretty cool. Uh, you know, kind of a dangerous character. Zap. With two P's. So we're doing. I've got a blank pecan. I'm going to do a bog pecan. You remember those, right? I got a whole bunch of them that I've
Yeah, I
done.
do.
So here we are on and Sharpie, one of your favorites, probably non-archival. All right, been a rebel. So I'm just gonna go ahead and date this, and that way I know what side. Let's see. Brand new month.
Mm, ooh.
Brand new month. I've got some of these bog pecans that go. I showed one just before you came on, since you were so extremely late. Anyway, we won't bring that up again. Um,
And you weren't on time, were you? Were you there at
no,
10?
I was like 5 minutes
No.
behind, but 14 minutes and
You,
14 minutes after I send you the link. What's up with that?
okay, yeah, I don't even get a link 14 minutes late. Oh my goodness, you were on at 12. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no. Wait
Yes,
a minute here
okay.
now. You didn't get it 14 minutes late. You
Oh,
were
so
14 after I sent it.
you were on before you even sent me a link, right?
I have to be with EV Mux.
See, I didn't know.
Before I can send you the link, I have to go live. At least the way I figured it out. You do have to go live. Anyway, Omen says, could Scrap create others in, say, a method of how symbiotes create others? Or let's say he suffers damage, could a limb, etc., turn into another? Yes. Like with metal. Yes. Now, I don't have
I'm
the
gonna go
one
get
that,
my palette.
okay.
I'll be back.
I don't have the scrap uh, card here in front of me, but he's more skull-like, bolts and stuff. Uh, I don't know if I like that version. He looks maniacal, you know. He's got his fist up there. If you're gonna have good heroes, you have to have a good villain. So, and believe it or not, I didn't have enough villains, and I didn't have enough female characters. So I've been creating both for the past year or so, especially with the 43. That gave me a good excuse to create a bunch of villains and not have a bunch of origins to, because they all have the same origin story, although it affected them differently. And I'll give you a reason why it affected, because they had different treatments. Uh, you know, like there was more iron and other things, injections for stone, let's say, and that was in his blood system at the time. So there we go. I think that's good. I try and use the natural striation. Like I say, this is a pretty dark one. You know, these are just like a little thing here. Here $5 you can have one. In a little craft bag. Uh, dated and numbered. You know, just a little convention thing that you can pick up at the convention. So that's the latest one. But I've been doing them a very long time, at least back to 2021, maybe further. In my mind, I've been preparing for this a lifetime, you know, for a while. So now on Ooze's card, I have to go because it's very light. I have to go over that again and fill in the rest too. But that's what I had on hand. Let's see if this works well. Instrument, is there an A in instrument, or do I have that
No.
misspelled? There's
I
not.
N S
S
T
T
R
R
U M E N
U.
T
Okay.
U
So I should
M E
have
N
a
T.
U there. I put an A. I knew that wasn't right. Different titles. Instrument of Doom. So this has some good juice to it. So good ink. So I will go over this one and make it neater and more legible. I just like that a janitorial technician becomes a character called Ooze. And he's a character that can go under doors and, you know, like a trail of slime. There was a character in Ben 10 called, what was it? I just watched all those. Zoop? No, it wasn't Zoop. It was, but,
Leap.
huh? No, it wasn't Gloop or Gleep. We know that's from Herculoids.
I said bleep, but
Okay.
I'm
Well,
probably
now,
wrong.
just to let you know, Elsie, if I don't hear everything you say, it's because of
My
this.
head's turned and I don't talk loud and the fan's going.
It's the fan. I've got a fan on full blast here, keeping my computer cool.
Yeah.
So makes it hard to hear. And you're so soft spoken. And you can beg him, you can plead him, you can yell at him. It doesn't matter. And there for about a minute, he may get louder, a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes tops. I mean tops. And then he'll go back down to that lower cadence. It's just going to happen. That's the way he speaks. And he can't speak louder to, you know, if you offered him $1 million, he could for a couple minutes and that's it. He's going to absolutely go down to a lower cadence where you can't always hear, you know. Of course, maybe it's my hearing. Maybe not. Uh, let's see. I do need to clean that one whack job. And that will require Doc Martin's whiteout. So, what do you think about these new names that I have come up with, LZ? Uh, Whack job, low life, deadbeat. No, I didn't go to divorce court. Head case, curse, and the falling man. Those are the ones I have. But those few, I don't know.
Yeah, they could all be used.
Yeah, I just have to create characters to the names. So I'll get a brush and some Doc Martens, and I'll clean this back up a little bit. At this point, I have more than enough sketch cards for everyone to receive one with their charter member Devil Flyer cards, which have been printed up. And you can put your name on back if you so desire. I believe Mr. Rob Ewing probably designed this for me. That was one of the things that I paid for him recently. Excuse me. And the hiccup there. Yeah, that looks better. I might go over that with the ink here one more time. Touch up. What say you?
Touch up.
Touch up. Mm-hmm. I'll take my pizza around here and put my excess on here for texture.
So you left the crumbs on there for texture? That's pretty cool. Oh,
No, it's pretty clean.
I'm just messing with you, dude.
Pretty clean. Even the back, clean. Every now and then you get a clean one, you know. They don't all have to have sauce and cheese and
Grease.
grease on them, yeah. But I think I and Peter DeLuca have proven that you can use these as a viable, albeit it's not acid free. Have an old sock with a hole in it. These make great rags.
Make sure it's washed.
It is washed. It is clean. Yes. Otherwise,
Wa-
I wouldn't put my tongue to it.
You
Give me
might.
some credit. Just some. Just a little.
Well, that's going a little
That's how
too
you get a
far.
sharp point. Elsie knows this. This is I don't know if he does this, but that's how you get a sharp point. You know, put it in your mouth. Of course, make sure it's clean. Like Elsie says, make sure it's clean before you do that. Otherwise, you got Doc Martens whiteout on your tongue. A swig of, coffee will take care of that for you. We're two old contrarians, I think. He says, speak for yourself.
What you say?
Oops, don't want to put that on the top because it's wet. A little bit might come off, a little Doc Martens there. So I think I'll work on the Mighty Ooze character. Who's a janitor that's turned into a. Oh, and I've got some blank ones here too. I haven't. My friend years ago had a character which I think I drew. Because I was helping him draw his characters. That was at the time in the early '80s when Marvel was coming out with their Marvel A to Z, books. And he had a character called Vapor. And I've always liked that. And Euphoria is kind of like that. Um, and I've talked about Euphoria was kind of one of the characters inspired by the UFOs, which was Marvel villainous group for Incredible Hulk. We will designate a card for Vapor while I have that. Work on Vapor. Put him there with the drawing. And with all these
I,
characters, huh?
I was going to tell you, Friday night, just for a couple hours, I'm going to go downtown and got a spot. I'm going to paint and show some of my paintings.
So is it a
It's called the First Friday Art Walk or something
now?
downtown,
Is that
downtown
where you're
Friday.
renting a spot down there at the old? No,
No, it's not there. It's on like Main Street downtown.
he did a sort of street festival type thing and was painting, and they took a picture of him painting, and at that point he was throwing a brush, and they caught the brush in midair, right, headed towards the canvas.
Yeah, and when
And
it
tell us
struck it,
about how that great photograph that made it into the magazine how that was. What was the thinking about that? That you were throwing the
Well,
palette knife or the brush? I guess it was a brush at the
the
painting.
one that made it in the magazine was just me standing there at the palette, but the one that got in the newspaper was that brush one you're talking about.
Okay.
And the guy, after the guy took a picture, you know, he was taking pictures, and we said, "Hey, man, check this out." And you know what we did was we had everybody that came through painted on that picture. And right at the very end, that dude was sitting there. He set up his camera, you know,
Yeah.
right there by the canvas, and he
Hmm.
says, "I'm gonna throw it and see if you can catch it." You know, we actually tried to do that, and he snapped it and caught it in mid-flight. That was pretty cool, you know.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
brush
I
stuck
remember.
on there. I've still got the painting with the brush stuck on it. Yeah, I left it on it.
So the brush stuck on there. Okay. It didn't bounce off or anything. Okay. I
Nah,
think I'll start with
had,
Vapor because I already have him
had too
kind of
much
drawn up.
paint on it.
Handy.
We gave everybody that walked through there an opportunity to paint on that painting, which was
Yeah.
a lot of people. So it kind of started turning brown.
Yeah. Too
But
many hands.
it's still pretty colorful. I kept it, you know, I still got it. I
Yeah.
thought it was cool. Since it made it in the newspaper, I figured it'd be worth keeping. Had a story behind it.
There we go. All right. So got Vapor in there. Take very long. Signature on there.
Your mark.
And date it. Documentation. Right. And on to the inking of that. There's Vapor right there. Very lightly put in.
Okay.
Somebody would get that and go, "What is this? Vapor? What the hell? It's gonna be a character. Trust me." This one I put an outline on around the actual character to sort of set him apart, and you could say it's more of the character, and maybe it is. Maybe it's just the border of the separating the figure and the background a little bit more. There we go. I could totally blacken that out, and then that would be, and put
Yeah.
color in here and really emphasize. Huh?
I said, yeah.
Yeah. I use a mechanical pencil 9.999% of the time. Not always. Depends on what kind of mark I want to make. But usually I use a mechanical pencil and build it up from there. Kind of different. Do a lot of it in the inking process. This is almost like contour drawing, where it's one continuous line. Could have called this character Amoeba, probably. That dry and I'll erase what, lead I didn't go over. He'll be an interesting character. I like the biomorphic shapes where he can be like Twisted Man, who has like a full body Rorschach, you know, pattern that is different in every panel. He's like this. Ooze is like that. I like the movement. Some characters you want to be the same, just different angles, whatnot, of course. But these are ones that you can really have fun with. That's more biomorphic and changes from, or the pattern within the outline changes, from time to time. Now I don't have a favorite eraser here. It's in there, but I think this will work. I've got a couple here, which I really don't like. Magic Rub, an older, and then this one. I'm going to use this one. Some of these just don't do it for me. There's not much to erase here. Dirty Joe was a character basically that was kind of in that thought of like a Venom, claw and teeth, ghost or wraith character. I think I will put a background around him, a colored background. I could just black it out, but that's too easy. It's not. I've still got these to integrate in these new markers sets to integrate in my highly ordered system now of markers. Now that's, what color will vapor be? And do I need to even be coloring him right now? Because most of them I use in black and white. And I have others to draw too. I think I'll go with a dark red background. That. Of course I'll do. You'll see how dark it is. It's very dark. It's almost like a Indian red or a barn red. And seeing that that's a background color, and he does have holes within the vapor. That's what these things are. Then I will put the background color in there first, in those holes of his form. There we go. And then do the outer edges. Being vapor, perhaps the environment could affect the color of the character. Yeah. How did he get to that incorporeal state? Tune in, find out. We'll come up with something. probably color the logo a different color just for contrast, but around the edge there, always a lot of fun, to integrate that into the design. I have others blasting the design and other things. Momentum Concepts logo that John Fernandez, my friend, designed many years ago. Not say many, 4, 5 years ago. I don't know how long I've had that. He did an early version for me of that, I think in the 90s at some point, sometime. Elsie, would you like to show what you've been working on?
I guess good, yeah.
You guess
It
what?
might be a wet. Yeah, I guess this one here might be a little wet. I'll show it last.
Okay. So you're really working wet
On this one,
on
yeah,
that
get
one.
kind of blocking it out. Get this going first.
I want all types of carrots. That's awesome. That's yeah. Look at that. That's I don't even know how to make that bigger. That's got a very Salvador Dali. Uh, you know, very Salvador Dali type landscape. Uh, I don't know that I would do much more to it than that.
Uh,
That's.
all I'm gonna do is darken the edges so you can hang it the way it is if you want to.
Yeah.
And maybe sign it.
Well, the
Maybe.
way I do mine is when I date the painting, uh,
Yeah, as I work
I
on them.
date
Yeah.
it like the way I want it to be hung.
Oh yeah.
That's, with the more abstract ones where it's like, well, I could hang it this way, that way, this way, you know.
I'm kind of working on this one right now.
Okay. I like the canoe in the back, the orange canoe. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know that's not a canoe. It's a canoe shape.
Oh,
Yeah, I want all kinds of characters in the Momentum universe. Uh, I want characters that I have not seen before. Certainly, you can say, well, that kind of looks like this, and that kind of looks like that. Comparisons can always be made, but I try and be as original as I can be. Uh, some characters are going to be more original in concept than others, but I
well,
try not to
certain
emulate.
things. There's certain things as you grew up and read comics, and certain things stick in your mind more than others. You know,
Oh, absolutely. I
and they
mean,
can't help. They can't help but just come out in your work. I mean,
I can
and,
tell you why I created Cortex years ago because of the What If story where Reed Richards was, and even before that, there was a character in Marvel, a Nazi character called Brain Drain. That was and he had floating eyeballs too with the stems. Now Cortex does not have eyes, does not have those optical, So there's that background put in there for the character.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
He's an easy one, folks. But hey, the very first one. Not a lot of bleed through. Some of these are stronger than others. Uh, these markers, especially the red or magenta, can really bleed through. Yeah, that's a good color. Sort of a, at least on this version, light green for his vaporous form. I don't think I want the chisel point though, it's small. Now I may want to go over the background again simply because the spots are more concentrated and I want it to look, in color because they were smaller area and I want it to read somewhat as the background coming through some spots. Of course, with that you can put drop shadow. I'm probably not on this, but like being a little kid again using these markers. I really like the alcohol markers. I guess up till last year I had never used alcohol markers. And perhaps vapor could become more gaseous states, like he could change his state from, uh, anything that could be vaporized, from water vapor to ammonia to, you know, uh, acidic acid,
I
some kind.
know.
Huh?
That devil flyer cut one and vapor comes out.
Cut what?
A
Cut what?
fart.
A fart?
Vapor comes out. That'd be a trip. That'd blow his mind.
All these years he doesn't know that I take my characters it's really seriously. And it's only a joke.
Is that?
Look,
Well, I mean,
make
no
fun of your own
no
characters,
better
not mine.
place to come but from devil flyer.
Yeah, Viper's going to be a good guy. You know? I've been hitting the villains pretty hard. I've got villains. I'll continue to create characters. Let's try this. Really light color. Even this might be too dark. Of course, if I combine those, I may get green. I want that. Here's the blender. We'll take the blender out. Really, when you really want a light color, that pastel set is really nice. I probably could go online and find something comparable, maybe even a larger set. We got like warm beige, raw silk, flax, you know, uh, some really nice, very light colors. See if I can get enough here out of the raw silk. I think so. So I have sketch cards for everyone finished. I have head sketches for everyone finished. Everybody gets a free head sketch. Everybody gets with their charter member card. The first premium is going to be a sketch card of one of my characters. Um, and I have enough of those done up. Uh, There you go. I kind of like that light. I was going to put maybe a light blue where the white is. Uh, and I think that maybe I'll do that. You know, and maybe traverse the line, make it even look more biomorphic. And maybe one of these lights. You have mint blue, frost blue, gray light blue pale, mint macaron, sort of a minty green. Let's try mint blue. I really like this pastel set. Now I'll even go and traverse the line a little bit over the green from time to time here to make it look more, you know, less of a outline, colored outline, or the figure.
Appreciate it, Omen.
What you appreciating? His
He told
comment?
me, he said, well done, and I said, thank you.
There you go. And should I go over that again? The background? Maybe. Match up better. I think it really is a dark red. It's like a dark red tint, whatever that means. The darker the background, the more the figure that's in the lighter color is going to pop out. So we'll just go over the background areas again to better match up the spots that I put with it. Oh, and I still have to color the logo some color. It's easy to miss if you don't miss something. Don't take a good look at it. You're in a hurry to move on to another one. Dark red. Dark red. These sketch cards, man, these things have really expanded the Momentum universe. I've created so many new characters using this format. As I was doing less, but they were larger pieces. The smaller formats really helped me, you know, more than the head sketches ever did, which are larger pieces. But I did create a few larger ones, you know, new characters, but not okay. So I got to color the logo here. What's a good logo color? Maybe something really light as well. A different type of green, maybe. Although it looks like the green I used. I don't think it is, though. And then just to emphasize the fuse on the bomb, a yellow, an orange. Sometimes I color in Momentum, the little lettering, Momentum Concepts, and sometimes I don't. I think I will on this one. Put it all in orange. probably better contrast if I didn't color it. But orange is complementary to that red, and then that flax color around there is kind of complementary to it too. So there you go, finished Vapor. The hell? It's a character. Leave me alone. Maybe that should have been Whack Job. Okay, that's just describing the artist. Now on to the Mighty Ooze. After I re-emphasizes B in Whack Job, now that the Doc Martens has let's go over all the lettering, emphasize it a little bit more, and look more uniform for whoever receives this one. And I'll have extra, maybe nobody will receive it. Maybe I'll keep it in my collection. It's not bad. Whack Job. So, ooze. Where's my ooze? There's Vapor. Maybe he's in the same one. Different designs come to me. Like I've got a armored boot design here by Lex Luthor. I swear that's Lex Luthor. It's interesting when I can identify where I've got these from. The inspiration. I don't think it's in this one. Let's try the other. Color just takes these to a different, different level. This is the older one, though, I think. Sketchbook, here you go. Here's like an aquatic character and a concept for White Viper and some female character that I don't know, never quite finished there. There you go. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Did that back in March.
Very
Here's my concept for the beatdown cover, which, well, actually the last shot in the story where she comes busting through a hole in the wall with smoke and vapor around her and debris. And I'm going to make that last scene where she's not in shadow so much into a variant cover as well, because I like that good, strong girl, thing for a cover, pose for a cover. It'll be her first cover, and I'm excited to not only have her in that 43 story, but have her in a cover, on her first cover, to be developing that character. And she's going to be in both books, and putting her in with coming up with the ideal, and I haven't done, I've drawn Beatdown maybe once, but I created the character, so now I know what I have the character in mind, and I said, here's another character called the Plunderer. Plunderer there in all the notes. Plunderer. Generic terms. Oh, now this is like the sort of scrap character that I put on the sketch card. Right there, more skull-like, mechanical. He does look maniacal on that card. Everybody gets a. There's another White Viper possible design right there. The mind's always working, folks. Always working. There's the writing, doodling. I think this thing's about full. Oh yeah, it is full. Wrote on there full. It's full. Now with that said, there's a page or two in the back or got blank spaces. I could, but it's pretty much full. Okay, so it's not going to be in that one. It's in this one. There you go, with the lizard and the heap there, or a heap-like character. Yeah, ooze. I can just see him stretching out, catching people, with his fist, his mighty fist of glue, what do you call it? Now, my character Curse, he's going to be made up of tomb dust and sand. He's going to be an interesting character, one of those gritty characters. Scramble, yeah. I've got a card for Scramble, I just don't have it here. It's probably upstairs. I've got a few of those blank ones. Scramble, the name, was going to be a character that scrambles everybody's powers. I've been trying to work that into something where you get amalgamated type characters, like Nightcrawler and Storm crossed. His power scrambled. If he touches a couple characters or something, uses his powers on a couple characters. Scrambles and combines them into sort of a what-if type character. I don't know that I'm going to go with that with Scramble. Scramble's kind of or the look. I don't know. Okay, so the Mighty Ooze. Maybe I can. Draw the thugs that he's hitting first.
We got action scene.
Action scene, yeah. I'm trying to do these differently. Different. Some full-bodied, some just face. All right.
I'm gonna stretch. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh.
There we go. So you got ooze there, not quite finished. Might put another guy in there, but we're whacking him in the chin with its mighty fist. Billy Power Max, hail to you. Good to see you. Taking on the bad guys. Maybe maybe this one guy. Let me just put another fist in here. Beating up on the bad guy. Yes. This is mighty fist of fury. Take that and that and that. Poor bad guy. Crime doesn't pay.
Pretty good. Like that.
Beating up on the bad guy. Let me erase some of the ink or some of the lead there that might be there. Not my usual pencil, and it's kind of gliding across the surface, so I don't like these particular ones on this. It might come from the same set. It just may be. It just be neat. Now it is green. Maybe I should have made vapor a little different. I can always add to vapor. Put in a secondary, sort of a core color there. That might look pretty good. Right there in the middle, to give it some variance. Very light, sort of a coral color. There we go. Very light. try the coral color with this character as well. More of a fleshy color. I kind of envision him as green, but he might work pretty good as coral. More of a fleshy color too. And if some of these concepts are too out there, I have a plan to put them in the Tweeka universe. Beating up on the bad guys. Could have probably taken some more time to do the fist better. Nice tone here. See what that looks on the background, huh? With some of these you can put undertones as well. Lay down something and go, well, that's not quite right, what I want, and I just put an undertone. Now this is real close to the coral color, but then that's, you know, depending on what I put over the top of that color, that other one will be complementary to the color of the character. So I know how I have several different intensities of that coral color, much darker. Got the chisel point here, cover more area more quickly. Kind of got it all blocked in there. Maybe lay a lavender or something. Maybe here's a violet. Let's try that. See what. Or I don't know. It just depends on if you want that to recede or come forward. Right. That's a good purple. Could make me a purple character. Purple is a very, you know, pretty neat color. Active color. Let's just try and let's see how that works on him. Get another tip here though. Over that one coral color. To get my camera set up this year, my old phone, or we'll get something else. We'll get something that works for sure. You can see the magic works. Beating up on the bad guy. Maybe put a little green in there, why not? See how that looks. Got a little green all over the purple. Pretty much been using one kit here. Not one kit, but this. Really like this magenta color.
That's analogous to purple.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good mixture. Wearing some kind of checkered shirt there. Come on. Make a little room here. There we go. Flesh tone here. Actually a brown. Let's try that in the background. Warm that background up a little bit. Over that flesh tone color. Get about 3 layers on these, and they don't want to sort of blend. past that point. Certain flesh tone for him. Light tan with that little mixture, so it doesn't look all the same. Tan color might work good in this hair too. It's too light though, really. Of course, Superman uses blue in his hair. Maybe a little orange. Really pop that background with more one color. Otherwise drab. Hard. High intensity yellow. How about marigold? Hmm? Maybe with a red highlight. And the mighty ooze might be done. Let's try and put in some dark areas. It's a checkered pattern. On his shirt. Make his hands stand out a little bit more. Yay! And there you go. You know what? I need to emphasize some of those lines, the character better. I'm telling you, man, the inking process really comes alive. This one's about a juice, though. See if it's got a little bit more in it. Maybe not. Maybe even less. Start throwing some of these out. There we go. There we go. What do you think, Elsie?
I like it. That's colorful. I might lighten up on the ooze arms a little bit, or
Yeah,
put some
make it
white
a little
highlights in
brighter.
there.
It's hard to
Yeah,
do
look.
once you got in the dark, you know.
Yeah. Can you put any like highlights, like maybe with some gouache
Oh,
or?
I could, yeah, I could do that. Sure.
I mean, very subtle, just to kind of
Hmm.
distinguish them. They're kind of fading into the background a little bit,
Yeah.
and that would help it, you know.
Next level stuff here.
That might give you the contrast you're looking for in that.
Yeah.
'Cause like I said, it gets so dark and it's kind of hard to change it.
And one thing that this adds to it is a brush feel, you know, of fluidity.
Brush strokes and ink are just as powerful as brush strokes and color. They can be. One thing painting a lot in black and white helped me do is to learn to work light to dark a lot better. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, to me, it's, you can't, uh,
can't rush it.
well,
I mean, the work.
you can't, underestimate contrast. Contrast is, to me, one of the most important things that, you know, you have to
and your
consider.
composition.
All right, so it definitely gives it a different energy. Here you go.
Oh yeah, I like that. That pops there. And
Yeah,
my
and you know what?
visually.
I can do some lines here also very in white for the impact, you know, and convey that a lot easier with contrast of the impacts of the blows. There you go. There you go. Let it focus.
Hey man,
Focus.
if you yeah, I see, but if you can make those, would it be possible to make underneath those lines and it'll thin them out with a little dark line underneath each one?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to let it dry first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we are coming up in about a minute and a half to the end of the stream because EV Max only on the free plan gives you, and I had to go through EV Max because of out of time on StreamYard. You know, might have time on there today, and it might be the third. Uh, you never quite know. I hope you got that on there good. Uh, Wash my brush out real quick. And I might even be able to go over that with some more color. So didn't get a lot done, but I got two sketch cards pretty well, you know. Uh, the paper and the mighty ooze. And you've been coming along on yours. That's good. So
On this one.
yeah, that's looking great, man. That's great. Been working on some of these for a while now. Looks good, fellas. Thank you, Jason. You just got in, and we will call it a broadcast for today. Bow for now. Uh huh.